So if you're trying to pass a prop firm challenge, or even if you have already, your win rate actually has very little to do with it, and I have proof of that, right? Um, if you're obsessed with your win rate, though, it's good to get it a little bit higher, but it very well might be why you failed, and allow me a moment to prove that, right? I trade full time. My name is Sam, and I've passed quite a few prop firm challenges at this point. And I've reviewed hundreds of traders' stat, particularly ones who are trying to pass prop firm challenges, right? And most of the time, your win rate isn't actually the problem. Most of the time, it's something else, right? So this is the lie that I think quite a few traders believe about their win rate, is that prop firms themselves, they don't really reward accuracy, right? So traders who try and chase higher win rates, right, they think that their losses are going to mean failure. You really need to embrace your losses, because they're not only inevitable in trading, but they are inevitable in life as well, right? And they avoid, red days at all costs. You should be trying to avoid red months, to be honest. And you can begin trading with a fearful mindset. That's not going to help you in the long run, right? And I had this one trader I was coaching, and he had like a 67, 68% win rate, right? And he still failed 2 challenges somehow. And he couldn't really understand why. And your accuracy itself, it might feel safe, but safety itself is going to wind up killing challenges, okay? So what I think prop firms themselves actually really measure, they measure your loss behavior, not your actual wins. So, how big some of your losses can get, how fast your drawdown can accumulate. I had someone else contact me recently about that, and that guy actually eventually passed his prop firm challenge. He just needed to work on his mindset a little bit, right? So, how you react after a losing trade or after a red trade, excuse me, or whether you even stop trading altogether, okay? So, trying to recognize, pattern recognition. So, same max loss days, same revenge entries. You need to be able to identify these, all right? So, if you need help trying to identify those, or even to pass prop firm challenges, I have a link to my newsletter in the comment section down below. It's completely free to join, and I also put out one free trade idea every single week. It's free to join, so you got nothing to lose. I don't like being spammed, so I promise I won't spam you either, right? But the next point that I wanted to try and make is why I think some good traders actually wind up failing a little bit harder, right? So these kind of traders, they will size their positions for edge instead of survival. Survival should be your primary focus. It should be capital preservation, okay? So they're used to some, personal accounts that are a little bit more flexible, less rules. They're used to trading within recovery, right? They're used to trying to press some kind of advantage that they have, okay? And these challenges kind of forbid all of that, and they're not really designed to help you win. They are a business, of course, so they're trying to get profit, but they can be a very useful tool if you understand how to use them first, okay? So my very first challenge I passed within 2 weeks with 100% win rate, okay? But I understood the concept and the rules and the expectations that a lot of these prop firms actually have, okay? So what occurs, I think, a lot with some of these people who continue to fail, it's not really stupidity, okay? It's just skill that's being misapplied in the wrong kind of way, okay? So what actually does help you pass your challenges? The kind of math that seems to really matter the most is that your loss control is going to beat your win rate pretty much every single time, okay? So you're going to have a temporarily fixed risk per trade. After you get into an active account, you can have A and B setups and whatnot. I'll go into that in another video, right? So you have a hard daily stop. Normally, I don't even manually execute more than 1 trade a day. I don't think I've ever put in more than 2 trades in a single day maximum. Okay, and that's not applying for mechanical trading, okay? But you're going to have your same size every single entry. No scaling and no expectations at all, okay? So the small red days that you have, those survive. And if you can manage to get a flat day, believe it or not, that is actually a good day. If you can come to the market and you don't see anything and you actually close your device, that's a good day, okay? So you can pass with 40% win rate, and then I actually have proof of this. Most of it comes into increasing your risk-reward ratio, okay? But the real readiness test is if your behavior is right and if it's aligned after a loss. That's going to decide everything for you, okay? So your losses, they don't really change your execution, okay? And the rules are going to feel much more non-negotiable, or less negotiable, I should say, okay? You could stop trading much more easily after a loss, okay? So if you have, let's be honest with yourself, if you have 2 losses, can you actually stop after that? And can you stop without quitting, okay? And, you know, if this clicked with you in any ways, please like the video. It's helping to show me that this content is good and it actually does make sense, okay? But if you really need help trying to apply any of this, I send out a free trade idea weekly, and I help you get funded. I'm also starting up an AAI mechanical trading routine that I'm going to have ready. I'm not going to release it publicly on YouTube. It's only going to be for my email list, and that's kind of your guys's that's your benefit that you get for joining up in my email list, because I want it to be exclusive, okay? But no hype, just process. It's free to join, so go ahead and check it out, okay? But prop firms themselves, they don't really reward being right. They reward staying kind of solvent and disciplined throughout the process, okay? The win rate itself, it is going to feed your ego, and those big 1 to 10 risk-reward ratios, those huge wins are going to feed your ego too. Those are very detrimental in your trading process, okay? Risk control is going to help you pass challenges, and so is your mindset, okay? So fix that, and then after that, everything just kind of falls together.